I wonder how many people I could piss off by reviewing this and bringing up the fact that Kylo Ren is the worst fucking Star Wars character in existence. I'd take Jar Jar over him.
Hey baby, I found something for you to review.
Oh, is it something we can review together?
Fuck no, I'm not watching this shit. So have you ever heard of a little public access show called Electra Elf and Fluffer?
Holiday Hubby Wubbit? Produced and directed in 2003 by Nick Zed of such amazing films as Cockfight and the Death of Muffinhead, Electra Elf and Fluffer was a super low-budget public access show based on a superheroine and her chihuahua taking down corrupt senators and other criminals, and I am being requested to sit through one of these episodes. And since this show and all the episodes are so hard to find or even buy, I did what I could find, and we're skipping the first episode. So with that being said, let's take a look at Electra Elf and Fluffer, Episode 2, Maggot on a Hot Tin Roof. The episode begins with our heroine, Jennifer Swallows. Swallows. Making her way through the city, but is bombarded by people before Windows Movie Maker transition to the Troll Museum, where Jennifer is given a tour of troll dolls, and we are info dumped about a woman who donated a two-headed doll.
Nasal congestion accompanied by irritable bowel syndrome. Would you care for a cheese ball, dear?
That is 1000% way too much information, thank you! Miss Rogers then goes into a rant about tourists hurting businesses by just existing, and that maybe it's something bigger. So our villains are Maggot Master and Red Snapper. I wonder if they have any connection to Slipknot. Or
a red snapper. It's very tasty.
Our villains rant about their plan of creating tourists in order to help drive people out of their home and businesses, and the two then begin to disturbingly flirt with each other. Well, I no longer need bottom surgery, seeing as my dick has fallen off in disgust. We then meet another villain named Super Ulcer, who is what you'd get if Wolverine and Pee Wee Herman had a child together. But the other villains explain to him what their plan is, admitting that the maid tourists basically turn to dust once their jobs are done. But we have now literally spent close to 4 minutes being given exposition of a plan. Jennifer then heads to leave, only to be bombarded with more tourists. God! The green screen is worse than Velocipaster! Jennifer decides to investigate upstairs, finding piles of dust, communicating with her dog to head to their headquarters. God, I know the budget for this is extremely fucking low, but holy fuck. It looks like kids playing with little tiny action figures. Can this please be over? Electra Elf explains what's going on to her professor, who figures out that it's a Chinese restaurant. So she then heads over there, but is quickly trapped in a cage with Super Ulcer taunting Fluffer. Okay, that's the first time I've legitimately actually laughed at a joke at this. Doesn't make it any better! Fluffer releases his radioactive piss onto Super Ulcer as Elf easily escapes the cage. Maggot Master then sends in his tourists that quickly get defeated before Elf is hit from behind by Red Snapper. Elf wakes up to a creepy guy trying to be comedic relief, and our hero then uses her mirror of plot convenience to bounce the machine's laser into the Troll Museum, giving us our ending of extremely terrible stop-motion trolls taking over the city as Elf just lassos the villains together with no real fight, while the other is chased by a giant cheese ball.
This series is terrible.
The show lasted for a total of 2 seasons and 20 episodes and is one of the hardest shows I've ever had to look up in order to actually do a review for this.
I don't think I have to explain why this is so bad. The effects are bad. The acting is beyond subpar. And all in all, it's just terrible concept.
So, how'd it go?
Sometimes you disgust me!
Love you too, honey.
Electra, Elf, and Fluffer. There ain't nobody tougher flying.